A chain of events in Brooklyn Park on Tuesday morning led to the death of a 75-year-old man. Here's video of a stolen truck dragging a chain link fence that went down Highway 610 and Highway 252. The stolen truck was dragging that fence near Highway 252 and 66th Avenue when it hit another vehicle, causing that car to crash into a traffic light pole. The man died from his injuries, and authorities have not released his name. Police are looking for this stolen blue-colored Ford truck and that they say caused the death of that man. The stolen truck was last seen on southbound Highway 100 exiting France Avenue. New Hope police are asking for the public's help identifying the people responsible for a carjacking earlier this week. The incident happened Monday around 9:30 at night at the Pheasant Park Apartments off Boone Avenue North. New Hope police say the victim was approached by a white man and woman in another vehicle. The man got out of his car, displayed a suspected gun, and then drove off with the stolen green SUV. Police say the woman then drove away behind the stolen car, and if you have any information, you are asked to call police. A Fridley woman has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for her role in the kidnapping and murdering of a realtor in Maple Grove in 2019. A Hennepin County District Court judge handed down the sentence for 29-year-old Elsa Segura Tuesday afternoon. The criminal complaint says Segura purchased the cell phone that was used to lure Monique Baugh to the showing at the house in Maple Grove. Once there, two men kidnapped and killed Baugh. Those men have already been sentenced to life in prison without parole. There are two other people who have been indicted on the same charges for their role in the crime. Residents of two Brooklyn Park neighborhoods rejoiced this week after the city council reduced the speed limit on two busy roads.
All of the research everywhere shows as you increase speed on residential streets, more frequent accidents, more fatal, more severe injuries.
Sylvia Suarez is one of several Brooklyn Park residents who petitioned the city to change the speed limit on two different roads. Back in August, Brooklyn Park raised the speed limit from 30 to 35 miles per hour on Noble Avenue from 85th Avenue to the Brooklyn Center border, and on 63rd Avenue from County Road 81 to Highway 169. However, residents of those neighborhoods worried that the higher speed limits would just encourage people to drive faster and result in more crashes. An analysis by city engineers did not support those claims. However, the city council voted unanimously to lower the speed limit back to 30 miles per hour on those two roads.
It does take our residents speaking up, and I'm proud that you did that, because I always say to the people that live here and our residents and my neighbors, if you're unhappy about something, bring it up. Come up and speak to the council about it, because you can affect change here.
The lower speed limits will go into effect next week after the city changes the signs along those roads. Minnesota is the first state in the Midwest to try out electric school buses. 3 of those buses will belong to the Osseo School District.
You cannot hear this bus, and due to that fact, it actually plays music when it comes down to about 15 to 10 miles per hour, so that as the bus is approaching the students can actually hear the bus coming.
North Star will service the buses that the Osseo district will be using. The Minnesota Pollution and Control Agency provided more than $2 million in grants for the project. They hope to gather data and information about the bus's performance and reliability.
These buses do have regenerative braking, and so we can recover some of that energy during the route, and that's one of the reasons why school transportation does make sense, is we are stop and go business. We're picking up at corners, picking up kids, so we're on the brakes a lot, so that regeneration is a real possibility.
There are 8 buses in total that will be piloted all around the state. Some Osseo students have already used the buses to get to and from school. A school in Maple Grove is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. As Neil Persley reports in today's School Spotlight, there are a couple of factors that attract families to the school.
I've been here since preschool.
On this night, there's lots of excitement at Heritage Christian Academy. Maya Dyrud is making signs with her friends to help cheer on the volleyball team in sectionals. She's in 8th grade and has no plans on going elsewhere before graduation.
The environment is really good, and We have a lot of close friends, like all these people.
Heritage is also having an open house for prospective students and parents. It lets them check out the school and ask questions.
The mission of Heritage Christian Academy is equipping minds, engaging hearts, encountering Jesus Christ.
This year's Heritage Christian Academy's 40th anniversary, and they still take their mission very seriously.
We don't mean for it to sound cliche when we say we partner with parents in training up their children in the way that they should go, according to Proverbs 22:6.
We quickly realized that with the culture that we were in, that public school was not necessarily the influence that we were wanting for our children.
When Jill Moline and her husband moved here, they wanted a school for their children that wasn't going to clash with the positive Christian upbringing they were receiving at home.
We had lived elsewhere out in the East and had just seen things in culture that we were not, just the environment that we thought we wanted to raise our kids with in a way that equipped them to face the challenges of culture.
Heritage Christian Academy provides an alternative.
It's really nice to be able to be around a bunch of other Christians, have coworkers where you can have, spiritual conversations, have students that you're able to pray with.
Their students routinely score above average in standardized testing in Minnesota, but it is as much the healthy, positive culture that is the draw.
And a lot of these people have been going to school with me since preschool, so it's been really fun to stay with them, and yeah.
Heritage Christian Academy has been discipling students for 40 years, and God has been faithful to Heritage for 40 years.
In Maple Grove, Neil Persley, CCX News.
The Wayzata football team is technically still a defending state champion, having won the 6A title in 2019 before last year's tournament was canceled. The 2021 Trojans will play in the state quarterfinals Thursday night. Here's Jason Malillo with more.
The biggest game of the season is coming up for the Wayzata football team, but the Trojans are keeping it all in perspective.
At the end of the day, we're a bunch of 16 through 18-year-old kids just having fun. So, we're all high school kids. We like to do the same things any other high school kid would do, and we just happen to play football. We love playing football, and we're fighting for a common goal, which makes it pretty special.
That goal is a state title, and all joking aside, the Trojans are locked in on achieving it.
We're all happy to be together, but we're also very intense in practice and in games. Because we all know we have a job to do in doing our 111.
The state championship has always been the goal that we've been working towards, so I think we're all just knowing that we're getting pretty close. So intensity ramps up, yet we're all meshing really close together, so obviously there's going to be some joking and some fun together,
Head coach Lambert Brown guided Wayzata to a state title in 2019. He's confident this 2021 group has a chance to climb that mountain again.
There's going to be just, 6, 7 moments in a game that are probably going to determine the outcome and find a way to win those moments and win more than you lose.
Wayzata faces St. Michael Albertville in the state quarterfinals, a team the Trojans beat during the regular season. But that probably won't mean much on Thursday night, so Wayzata is aiming to come out flying.
I say screw their game plan. We know what we're going to run. They know what they're going to run. So we got a plan. They got a plan. We'll have to see how it goes.
Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Wayzata and St. Michael Albertville play at 7 o'clock on Thursday night at Park Center High School. Wayzata's nearby neighbor and rival Maple Grove plays on the other side of the Class 6A bracket from the Trojans. John Jacobson has more on the Crimson.
And then there were 8. Just 8 teams remain playing high school football in each class entering this week's state playoff quarterfinals. Maple Grove is one of the 8 in Class 6A.
It's super exciting, ever since 3rd grade we were playing tackle football all the way up to now. It's been a long journey, and finally see it capped off with a state tournament entry. I feel like it's a great thing for everyone in the program.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I'm very happy that we still are playing because a lot of teams don't really get this chance to keep playing, and we're still here, we're still surviving, and hopefully we can play the next 2 more weeks.
Woodbury is Maple Grove's next opponent. Like the Crimson, the Royals come into state with a 9-1 record. The Crimson is averaging 39 points per game while allowing an average of just 10. The Royals have posted similar numbers.
They're just a really hard-nosed, scrappy team. They're 9-1. They've done a great job. They've got a really good quarterback who makes plays happen, and they have a safety that's going to South Dakota State that they use on offense that makes a lot of plays, and they're big and physical up front. So we got to play our best to beat them.
Sunny skies and a 55-degree temperature greeted the Crimson for practice Tuesday afternoon. But by Thursday night, when Maple Grove kicks off for their state quarterfinal round game, the forecast is for wind, possibly rain, and a temp hovering around 40 degrees.
You kind of make your offense cater to where you plan on playing in bad weather. And so I think we're ready for it, and our kids are ready for it. And our rule has always been, as long as we're playing outside or practicing outside, no matter what the weather is, the only thing that's going to stop us is lightning.
At the end of the day, you just have to not worry about it, and you kind of have to just focus on the game.
A win Thursday, and the Crimson won't have to worry about weather until next season. The state semifinals and the Prep Bowl are at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. In Maple Grove, John Jacobson, CCX Sports.
Cooper in Class 5A and Breck in Class 3A both play their state quarterfinal games on Saturday. Watch for playoff previews of those teams later this week on our website, ccxmedia.org, as well as coverage of the Wayzata volleyball team in action at the state tournament. That's all for sports. I'm Jay Wilcox.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.